Excellent leadership. Right down to the squad level, you guys were very structurally organized, good communication. Whenever we made contact, if we hit an element, that element went firm, engaged us decisively, allowing a parallel element to continue to maneuver on us. So you guys were consistently moving. You guys were very aggressive, which was fucking excellent, so we're getting shot a lot. You're not bad, you guys won 3, we won 3, I think? Oh, never mind, we won 10. So, yeah, I mean, violence, communication was perfect. You guys popped a lot of fucking smoke there at the end. It was kind of entertaining watching you guys assault the pine building. Until you realized where we were. No, we definitely could have done something different with our position. I think we pushed about as far as we could have. Any farther up, we were too afraid DBs would start destroying RVs and vans and shit that was next to us. And I hope we didn't dent anything. But screw it. Yeah, good shooting, guys. Fucking great job, great cover, great communication. You guys fucking kept the pressure on the entire time. We didn't get an inch. So kudos to you guys. Awesome job.
Peter?
Yep.
Just to introduce these guys. Larry and Peter are the fire team leaders for the Blacksheep OpFor. Oliver's not here, he's the team leader. And he called me just prior to our attack and wished us all the best of luck and fun. So he's here in spirit.
Great squad tactics. Everybody, great job with that. We had a lot of fun, especially assaulting guys up by the girls' camp up here. That was fun and well done. A couple things. At Black Sheep events, weapon hits are hits. We had 3 incidents where people clearly got hit in the weapon and they admitted it, everything was cool, but weapon hits are hits at Black Sheep events. The other thing was squad cohesion. We ran into a couple situations where there were individuals who very effectively kicked our ass by themselves, which was great, but if that individual, especially down by the lake, if that individual had that person had a saw, if they'd had a rifleman as a spotter and a medic down there, they would have held that left flank no problem, and that's where we made so much progress once we knocked that saw out. So that person did a great job, but again, squad integrity is really important, and that's how you're going to get stuff done. I am tired.
Anybody else on the OpFor have a comment that they'd like to make? It's open to all of you.
Today's probably the best time I've ever had on OpFor. Hand to God, because I mean, not like we don't pull punches, but you know sometimes we have to like rein ourselves in a little bit because we get a little overzealous. You guys have been the tide wall to our storm wave. Like as much as we try to push you guys, like no. Oh, nope. Let's go over here. Nope. Freaking solid all day. Thank you very much.
Anybody else on the OpFor?
I'm sorry there weren't more of us to give more of you guys the perimeter.
Thank you for creating a fire-proof environment.
Guys, let's give the OpFor a hand.
Yeah.
Now from you guys, an AAR is not when I talk, it's when you talk. So does anybody have any highlights, lessons learned that you're going to do better next time, things that you wish you had done better today? I've got to applaud all of you. It was a pleasure leading 3 squads of this quality through the day. It made my job easy. You all responded well. You pushed the fight, and we made some textbook movements today. I mean, they were just classic. I would have been proud of my infantry platoon or company to perform at this level that you guys did. And most of you went through squad tactics last night and executed brilliantly today. And I have to give you a hand. I'm very proud of that. So that's my 2 cents. Now it's your turn. Highlights, things you can do better, things you did well that you're proud of. So open to the floor. Start with squad leaders.
I made it through the whole op.
What was I'm sorry, I'm tired. Your first name again?
Galen.
Galen is Rick Kraft's dad, right? Over here from Mid-State Mercenaries, and he is a Vietnam veteran, and he came out here to experience airsoft and tactics for his first time, so great job. Have a good time. All right, squad leaders, let's start with you. Anybody?
I'll go first.
Hal?
Well, we had a bunch of new guys and totally impressed. Where are they? My 2 young guys.
Stand up, guys.
They took everything you taught them today and used it and did it exceptional. You know, I'm totally impressed. I mean, they kept right up with us and did what they were told and moved forward, you know, did everything. Perfect. So, good job, guys. My squad.
Legion?
I'm used to playing these games. I've done every Plains event. I'm used to running with my squad. Most of my guys are not here today. So I'm used to my guys working with us and working very well together. We train a lot. But I have to say something. I've never played with you guys at all. You all work very, very well together. You all deserve a hand.
Where's Jigsaw?
It was my first hour, like, squad leading at all. I mean, I had my free runs with me that I usually play with every Sunday. And, I met up with the guys from Mystic. And we picked up 4 guys from Rhode Island, man. And I tell you what, it was a blast. And I have a better group to work with, even to learn with for the first time. Everyone's excited. And, we just wanted to get some, that's it. Gonna get on it. That's it. Ready for tomorrow.
Awesome. Now open to the floor. We got a comment here?
That box was heavy. That's all I wanted to get in.
Most of the obstacles that you'll face at a Black Sheep event are too big to carry for one person, so it requires a 2-man lift, and it takes 2 guys out of the battle to move whatever it is. Even the general is an awkward creature to move. So be prepared for that. You got to plan for extraction. You got to plan to have 2 guys without rifles up, and although it was heavy, you did well. Anybody else? Yes.
I tried to keep up on your website, and I know the story about the wall, and I definitely got over one of my walls today, and I'm sure there'll be many more.
Anybody else hit the wall today? A little wall? Tell us about your wall.
Oh, I was also the first one.
Any other comments? Come on, it's your turn to talk.
Fell asleep on a tree.
Finally, you admitted.
I was gonna talk. Yeah, I opened my eyes to see him going.
I was waving at him. I was like,
You awake? He did. I just sent somebody to go with him.
I was trying to communicate with you. You were
He's
like,
like,
what are you
he's
doing?
well, he's taking a nap.
The hands are going bad.
It's 'cause we went to complete silence, and it was just, that's the first time it's been so quiet in my whole life. I think in like 10 years. I mean, I got 4 kids at home. This is the first time I had complete silence.
Where did that happen? On the security
When we
listening
were waiting
call?
for them to
We were waiting
come
for
back,
you to come back.
right before lunch. Yeah.
I will have to say I almost joined them sleeping.
We thought they would start at like the band, get all comfy.
2 kids at home, and I was like, this is so peaceful out here.
Well, if you notice, the defense is the most difficult thing you can do, because you sit there and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you stare out into the distance, and all of a sudden that little leaf that flickers in the sun looks like a person, and you get all like hyped up, or you fall asleep and you create a hole in our defense. Anybody else? Come on. Chime up here.
Let's hear some PA stories, guys. Somebody did something epic today.
Who's the one OpFor guy that got like one-shotted from behind a tree?
Oh, Larry.
Right by the Girl Scout
Girls
camp.
camp.
Probably this guy.
Yeah, it was right before
First
lunch.
contact.
Yeah, that was first contact.
No, first contact was boy or.
That was me and boy.
I shoot me like one shot and just give me the helmet. Yeah, that sucked.
Man, I got away, I'm safe. I sit down and like,
He called me, Cole called me on the radio. He's like, dude, I got this guy over here. Can you get him? And I'm like, dude, I can't even see him. I had my sunglass lenses in, so I couldn't see him in the dark, you know. So it was really dark. And I was like, dude, I can't see shit anyway. So you're gonna have to hit him. Got one shot. So I was like, nice guy, dude. Nice.
I ever get those? That's why I'm sorry.
My epic moment was, Larry, my name was Zonka down by the pond. Larry had worked his way up to about 20 feet away from you guys.
Yeah, no, actually, you saw him.
And he said, I need some help up here. I was one of the last people, so I just ran through the swamps, just blasted my shins on the logs, and finally got up to near where Larry was, and I see this dark figure turn around, and so I shoot him, and it was Larry. I mean, all the way up there, like 10
Right
feet
where I
behind
met
me.
you guys,
Bam.
the same troop was with you. They got up. I died.
Guys, without superior leadership, this would have never happened. Give the man a hand.
You know, just all joking aside, who was it, Malice? Where are you? We were up here getting ready to go out, and Malice walks up to me and he says, you know, the players really want to see you play. And so I brought my rifle out there. I actually fired like 2 magazines of BBs, and that last assault was cool, coming through the trees and the smoke and flashlights sweeping the ground looking for the OpFor. It was epic for me. Thank you for urging me on to do that. I was just going to carry a pistol out there because, you know, leadership, what's our first job? Thinking, okay? So I just want to finish this. Anybody else got a comment? Yes,
I have
sir.
a question. When I ran for the box and picked it up like halfway and it fell out of my hands, someone ran over and carried that box with me, and I don't know who that is, but thanks, because that thing was heavy. Thanks.
I want to hear one of you 3 guys back there, the Rhode Island guys, drove all the way from Rhode Island. Long Island, sorry. They have roads there.
There you go.
Okay. I want one of you to stand up and tell us something you did today that you're going to live for forever.
No, stand up.
Today I learned to overcome my fear of actually not hiding and staying back. Staying back, you know, I actually overcome my fear, and I've learned to actually move as a team with my squad members. And when we were bounding, you know, you can be scared at that. You know. Lots of people, like lots of kids would be like, "How the hell do you do that?" And I would be like, you know, 2 hours of squad tactics, you know. And I just wanted to say, you know, it was fun.
Now you're going to take on a few more.
Any of you other guys want to say something?
I learned that when you're a medic, you should stay back,
And you know, even the OpFor learned a great lesson that they shared with me, is that we have recruited one hell of a bunch of guys and gals to be on the OpFor. And all of them are shooters, and none of them are good medics. Okay, you found one. You found one. All right, good. So,
But I know she doesn't want to be a medic.
right. Yes.
That just reminds me about being the medic. If you guys want to see a different side of this game, be the medic. Because you got to jump from people to people, and it makes you think before you go and run somewhere behind a tree. And I somehow managed to be the medic every game now. I enjoy it because I don't like getting shot all the time. And it makes you think, and it gives you a different perspective on the game. And you're an important part of the squad. Very important part.
The most important part, I would say.
Second.
You guys had me belly crawling all over the woods there.
All right, I want to finish this off. If you could think of another comment, I just want to highlight a couple of things that we did today. that you remember on covered bridge, where the bridge was here, and what we did is we sent one squad to the high ground on this side of the pond, and then we took 2 squads and came this way. As that battle developed, I made some decisions that squad leaders I explained to later, that and as the battle developed, we were pushing in 2 squads abreast like this. Okay, this was blue, white, red. So as we swept across the objective, the road went here, and we had 3 squads converging into a choke point. So what I did is I pulled blue squad back to secure the bridge, and I had white push forward and moved red off the high ground. They came around this way, and we pinched the OpFor right between the 2 squads like that. Does everybody understand how that movement all happened? I couldn't push 3 squads into there or we'd be shooting each other. So I pulled 1 out, 2 pinched. On the girls' camp, and this is what made me really proud of you guys. Girls' camp's up here. We're coming up through that stream bed like that. We had 2 squads, or 3 squads in column. Who was the lead squad here?
White.
White. Who was second?
Red.
Red and blue. White saw something on the other side of the stream, so we crossed white over to here. And they cleared that area. You guys weren't there, so we continued moving. And we ended up with white, red, and blue in a platoon wedge. Just like your fire team wedge with people like this, we did a platoon wedge with white in the middle, I think it was red on the right and blue on the left. We came, and just by luck of the draw, we kind of measured it on the map, and we said we got to go 300 meters up and turn, and we should hit where you guys are. So, as a platoon wedge, we went forward. We established a base of fire with white, and red went this way, blue went that way. And we kind of flipped the wedge on them into a V, and we squished them in the middle. And that's how that happened. Just boom. Like 2 arms clapping.
That was extremely depressing, just so you guys know, to
Yeah.
see a wall of all of you guys running at us.
I was at one time, I was like, yeah, and I'm like, that's awesome.
Remember what I said last night at squad tactics? 11 guns are better than 1. 30 guns are better than 11. All right? So remember that when you go to these big games and you're working with other squads, can you see the effectiveness of teamwork at a bigger level?